Hello people of YouTube, my name is Brad. This is my channel, Adamant Orange, and this week in 3D metal model news. For starters, kind of picking up from last week, I did kind of overlook that a couple of models had moved from coming soon to what's new. I made a post about it on YouTube, but just in case you didn't catch that, the Black Hawk and the Mars Rover, Perseverance, and Ingenuity helicopter have both moved from coming soon to what's new. So now you are able to buy them online. I did see them for sale on at Play Toys, as well as several other places if you're looking to grab one of those models. Saw that last week, but for some reason my brain thought that I'd already talked about it. Someone left a comment calling me out on that, so thank you. I did go back and look and oops. So yeah, a couple of new models as of more than a week ago are now available, and we're just left now with the Buckbeak model incoming soon. I wait to see what else is going to happen with Metal Earth as far as models is concerned. I've heard a lot of rumors that they have a lot of things in the works, and they're just trying to kind of space them out and make them more steady rather than big lump sums. Anyway, we'll see what's next. There is no new information as far as the international shipping thing. That's just unfortunate news. I pretty much said all that I know last week, that a lot of places weren't supposed to be allowed to ship internationally, and they're kind of being told, hey, you got to stop doing that. And that's very unfortunate. All I can say is kind of what I said last week. If you've got a favorite store, communicate with them and see if there's some sort of workaround that you can get, some sort of proxy or something else that can be done, that can help you if you are outside of the United States. Or I don't know if Canada is included in that, because I know specifically it was said overseas, and I have looked at a website that sold Metal Earth models that still had Canada listed. But yeah, nothing really new on that point. However, I do want to stop and apologize for being late with the video again this week. If you saw my post earlier, it is true that my mother is in the hospital with COVID pneumonia, which has actually improved, my understanding. Hoping she'd be able to get to go home Saturday. They've elected to keep her longer because the potassium and or magnesium levels were low. I feel for her, having had to take IV potassium. That's not fun. If you've ever had to do that, it doesn't feel good. There's worse things in the world, but yeah. But her lungs have improved. Her oxygen level, as far as I know, has gone up. I am not, unfortunately, not in a position where I can actually go and see. I'm way up north, they're down south, but I have been communicating via phone. And being someone who has spent a lot of time in the hospital, if you haven't, or if you've had a hard time with it, my biggest suggestion to you is take a notebook with you, or have somebody bring you a notebook, an empty notebook, and a pencil or pen, and every day that you're in the hospital, turn to a new page, write the date at the top, and make notes of everything they tell you. Medicines they're trying, medicines are changing, procedures, results, make notes of it all. And every day, flip the page, put the date, and start new notes. That way you can look back and actually keep track of what's been going on from day to day. It helped me keep my sanity. It's helping my mom. She's able to tell me and my brother what's going on. But anyway, that's not Metal Earth advice, but I thought I'd throw that in there. She is doing better. I'm obviously concerned, not as concerned as I was before, and I decided to just say, you know what, I'm not going to keep this deadline this week because I have more pressing matters, and thank you everyone for understanding. However, it's late at night. I've managed to do some research, and I've got a little bit of information for you. Going back to Metal Earth, because, oddly enough, because I was delayed in my research, I think I found a couple of things that I would not have found if I had already done the video by this point, because there were a couple of things that were posted very recently. One was on Facebook, and someone had brought up that the Red Dead Redemption 2 models, the exclusive models through Rockstar Games, I remember a while back they were selling out and they were getting hard to find, and people had bought, you know how people are. They buy too much of something, or they buy more than they need, and they wait, and then they sell it overpriced on eBay. Apparently the models are back in stock, and you can go to Rockstar Games. I put the link in the description down below. but it's rockstarwarehouse.com, I believe, and search for Metal Earth models, and they have all 3 of them back in stock. I've already grabbed me a few, and if you have been wanting to get them, or if there's one you didn't get because it was sold out, grab it now. It's back to normal price. They're back in stock. I have no idea how long it will last, but thankfully somebody on Facebook shared that information, and I'm going to share it with you because I never did grab them. There's always so many models to get, and I just went ahead and grabbed them this time. I was a little sad. I'm not super excited about them. I mean, they are neat. I'm not super excited about Red Dead Redemption, but the models themselves were pretty cool, and I did want to grab them, and I didn't, and now I can, and there you go. And speaking of exclusives, Mach1 117 posted on Reddit very recently by standards of me recording this in the middle of Sunday morning, or Saturday night, Sunday morning. They were talking about the Universal Studios models and looking for them at Universal Studios, and they have found some of them online that you can order on their website. And perhaps somebody has already discovered this and I missed it, but they shared a link to where you can actually buy I think they have 3 of the models online. I've got notes here, let me look. They've got the Color Globe, the Entrance Arc, and the Gringotts Bank and Dragon models available online, where you can buy them at pretty much the same, I think that they said the same price as you would be able to get them in Universal Studios, which, yeah, they're kind of expensive models, and shipping isn't too bad. So if that's something you've been wanting to get, and you're like me and never going to get to Universal Studios, there's an option for you right there. I will put the link in the description down below. It is a long link, and I did some searching around myself. I could not find the Minions models, though. Now, the Minions is one of my... I have been lucky. I should point out that I knew somebody who knew somebody that was going to Universals, and I have acquired the models. If you don't know somebody, then it's eBay, which means you're going to probably overpay. But some of them are available online, so check that out. Thankful that I found those 2 bits of information. It's kind of interesting, again, that I was delayed in the video. These posts are very recent. I don't think I would have seen them if I had done my research 24 hours earlier. And one last thing, I did kind of breeze through a Michael's craft store yesterday after work, and I haven't been in Michael's in well over a year, not just because of the pandemic, but I just haven't had much of an interest. AC Moore was my favorite store to go to. AC Moore at one time had all the Metal Earth models. They slowly trimmed back to where they barely had any, and now AC Moore is completely gone. My understanding is Michael's more or less bought or joined with AC Moore, and they just kind of decided that AC Moore was going to let that go and keep with Michael's. I noticed in Michael's that they do have 5 or 6 Metal Earth models over near the model cars. That's something they had never had before, and I thought that was pretty cool. There's a couple of 1 or 2 Iconics or premium size, a couple of other models, I think all of which I currently have somewhere. But Michael's is another store to check out if you're looking to get, instead of ordering stuff online here in the States, if you want to just go pick one up at the store. Hobby Lobby is one place that most people know. Michael's is now another. Beyond that, Peace Cool did post a new model on their website, peacecool.com. It is another very decorative model. It is a Garuda Cornet, or the translated to English name is Golden Wings Bird Crest. I wasn't able to get any specific information about this model before recording this, but as usual, if you have any more information about this model and the meaning behind it, please leave in the comments down below. For the rest of us, it appears to have 5.5 sheets, 550 parts, plus 800, that's right, 800 accessories. Wow. Brass, the material is supposedly brass. The finished size is 11 by 15.5 by 21.5 centimeters. 5 out of 7 star difficulty, and according to the Peace Cool website, it's going to be released on the 10th of this month, the 10th of June. I still haven't seen the paper crane or crane models, Lucky Crane models from last time. Have not seen them on AliExpress as of yet. I'm a little surprised. I kind of expected to, but hopefully very soon. And certainly this Garuda Cornet is not going to be available. It's not even been released yet, so we'll give that at least a couple of weeks before that shows up on any like Peace Cool, or not Peace Cool, but AliExpress or any of those type of stores that you can get Peace Cool models. And that's pretty much it of all that I found this week. Things are trickling out very slowly. I looked around my usual stores on AliExpress, didn't see anything new. Of course, if I missed something, feel free to leave a comment down below and tell me what I missed. There's so much stuff out there, it's easy to miss something. But really this week only one new model coming. A recap of last week where I missed a couple that are now available, and a couple of online finds. You know, so we got some models, older models that are back in stock, some models that you used to have to either get off of eBay or go to the Universal Studios to get. You now actually get online, which is really nice. And yeah, that's it for this week. I do want to bring up one comment that was left on last week's video, and I haven't responded to it yet. I should go and do that, but I want to talk about it here. It's a question that occasionally comes up, both on my channel and Metal Earth subreddit, and even the Facebook pages. I'm not sure if this is an L or an I. Losif Kaufman left a comment. Hi, for some reason I broke the part. Which is the best glue to use? And they said, thank you. The best glue to use. I have had, depending on the situation, probably the one best glue that I've had success with is Loctite. And I've got a little bit here within reach of my table. Just a basic Loctite super glue seems to do really well with holding models together to a point. Metal Earth models, 3D metal models, they can be very difficult to secure and fix once a part has broken, and it depends on what has broken. If you've got other things holding it on and you just need to kind of fix a seam and stabilize it, Loctite will usually work really well. If you have loose rattly parts, Loctite can work really well. Whether or not you want to use the thinner stuff or the thicker stuff is kind of up to you and your situation. You kind of got to use your own judgment on that. I've tried other off-brand super glues and they never hold. Want to say I've tried Gorilla Glue at some point and didn't have much success with that, but the Loctite seems to work fairly well, though it still can be stressed and break at that. These models are difficult to repair and solder. Doesn't seem to work at all. I have had some situations where I've used a UV glue, and the UV glue is really good if you have like ragged edges. It's really good for holding tabs in place and securing them because it doesn't actually stick to anything. What happens to UV glue hardens, and I've had situations where tabs were loose or it was one tab and it wouldn't hold things in, and I put some UV glue in the back and used the UV light to harden it, and it solidified around the object so that you couldn't move it anymore. But it has its limitations too. Loctite's the best thing. UV glue can use in certain situations. I've had a couple of situations where the part was, nothing was holding it on, it was completely broke off, and what I did is I used some clear tape on the inside to, you know, put the two parts together. Of course they're still floppy, and then once I get it in a position I want it to be, using supports or whatever, I put a little bit of Loctite and just leave it to dry, and between the tape and the glue it'll usually hold it pretty good. There are some situations where they're really odd, or there's a lot of stress on the part and it's just not gonna work, and that is just unfortunate. And with Metal Earth models here in the States, you can request spare parts. You might have to prove that, you know, you've actually bought the model from Metal Earth, or you bought a Metal Earth model and not a knockoff. But they'll send you free parts and give you a chance to replace and fix the model. With models from like Peace Cool or MU here in the States, that's not an option, and you just got to kind of figure out a way. But Loctite seems to be the best. Of course, I'm going to open it up to everyone else. What glues have you had success with? What methods have you had success with? We've talked about, I'm sure, before, but let's review the topic. What have you done and used to fix broken models? I've seen a lot of different things, probably a lot of things that I've forgotten about over time. But again, for me, Loctite seems to work the best. There's even one instance where it wasn't so much a repair as it was to sturdy up the model. It was the snow speeder, the original snow speeder, Star Wars snow speeder from episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. Those fins on the back, they were all floppy. I got them all in there, but a lot of them were loose and floppy, so I took, and I want to say I put toothpicks or something in between them to hold them all straight, and before I put the back piece and the rest of the model together, I took a hot glue gun and just laid a strip of hot glue over all the tabs and let it cool, and it worked very much like the UV glue, where it solidified and it didn't hold the parts in, it just kept them from moving around. So there was one instance where I used hot glue, but that's not going to help you in most situations, and it can be kind of messy. But again, if you have any comments, any suggestions, please leave them down below. I'd be interested to hear what you have to say, and perhaps share your comments on your glue or fixing choices in next week's video. And that is pretty much it. It is the beginning of another month, so I do want to say thank you to my current Patreon supporters, and I want to name off who I want to thank for being a Patreon supporter of this channel for another month. Thank you to Chris Paskowich, George Bale, Hugh Morrison, Jay, James Herring, Kaj Nielsen, Ken Crowan, Kendall Fargo, Laurent Palm, and Mong Hong, Phil Miller, Seth Bell, Shalyn Moody, Timothy Green, and Timothy V. Thank you very much for your continued support on this channel. It is much appreciated. Because of your support, I was able to quickly and easily fix my computer by just ordering another video card and getting it back up and running. Your support definitely made that possible. Your support makes it possible for me to buy models, although I'm not going through very many of them right now, unfortunately, due to lack of time, but your support is very much appreciated. And thank you everyone who watches. Thank you everyone for commenting. That support is also appreciated. What can I say beyond thank you very much? It is because of you guys that I continue to do this. If it wasn't for people commenting and interacting, and if it wasn't for being able to help people, I would definitely have put this down by this point and just not continue to bother. So it is because of you that I continue to find the time to at least make these videos, and I am still trying to build. I do have a build video that I need to finish up. I very recently put this together. I also very recently got the Space Shuttle launch kit. I am so excited to get to working on that. Of all the models I have, as much as I'm a Star Wars fan and I have plenty of Star Wars models to build, my next one has to be the launch kit. I'm just super excited about that. I think that's fantastic. Like, brings me right back to childhood, like Pac-Man or Galaga would. Just fantastic. I'll leave it at that. I'm starting to ramble on. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for your support. Thank you Patrons for your support. Thank you viewers. Thank you commenters. Thank you all of you for your support. And as always, keep on keeping on.